Hola, hola, muy buenas tardes, respetable público. Estamos aquí en las montañas en el condado de Yakima. Déjenme mostrarle estos impresionantes ejemplares. Son venados. Vean nada más esta belleza, señores y señoras. Déjenme mencionarles que no están en una reserva o no es una granja. Están en su hábitat natural, valga la redundancia. Al final, atrás podemos ver que están las montañas, que es donde ellos habitan, que es su hábitat natural. Y en esta época del año cae mucha nieve en las montañas, escasea su alimento y al gobierno se le ocurrió la magnífica idea de alimentar a estos animales en esta temporada del año. Por eso varias personas pueden venir aquí y apreciar a estos animales, fotografiarlos, dar un pequeño recorrido en un carro. Hay una barda que tenemos aquí, una pequeña malla que impide que uno tenga contacto directo con ellos por temas de seguridad. Pero los invito a que se queden a ver este video, va a estar muy interesante y espero les guste, así es que acompáñenme. Continuamos aquí con el video. Estamos viendo que ya comienzan a moverse los vehículos que están dando el recorrido a las personas. Así es que nos están diciendo que ya podemos pasar a las oficinas a registrarnos para poder dar ese pequeño paseo arriba de esos vehículos. Así es que vamos a ver qué pasa. Vamos a registrarnos y vamos a dar ese paseo para ver un poco más de cerca estos hermosos ejemplares. Y pues bueno, vamos a lo que sigue. Ya estamos aquí en la oficina. En este momento nos vamos a registrar para que nos puedan dar un número y así podamos hacer el recorrido para ver de cerca estos hermosos animales. Así es que vamos a darle. Continuamos con el video. Ya nos registramos en la oficina, nos asignaron un número, así es que vamos a subirnos al carro que nos llevará a dar el recorrido. Acompáñenos.
It was coming down the hill right here, just on this side of that birdhouse or that coming down, and it fell right off.
Damn. No, you don't see that very often.
Daddy, the tour guide's right there. You have to move.
Oh,
You have to
okay.
put him on your lap.
Okay, come on, sit up. Sit up from there. Right here with me. All right. Welcome aboard, everybody. Has anyone done this tour before?
No, never.
Nobody, really?
No.
Cool. All right. That's rare. Well, my name's Nick. That's Ricky right there. He's our driver. We're gonna get you out there. These guys just saw one of the bulls drop its antlers just a couple minutes ago, right? As it was running down the hill. Cool. That I have not seen.
Every year, their antlers will come off, and they said on the last tour, one of the bulls, the antlers came off.
Every year. So all these elk are coming down here. They're coming down to lower elevations in the winter so that they can have access to food. So these guys reside up at higher elevations most of the year, but they come down here each winter. So they've been coming down here each winter for a long time. These are native to this area. However, they were extirpated, which means locally extinct. So these Rocky Mountain elk were wiped out about roughly 120 years or so. So all of these elk are descendants of elk brought here from Yellowstone National Park about 110 years ago or so. So most of the Rocky Mountain elk that you find in the lower 48 now are descendants of elk brought from Yellowstone National Park and essentially repopulated to their former native grounds.
When they overhunted, is that what happens?
Exactly. Yep, loss of habitat and then they were overhunted. Exactly. So all of these elk are coming down here, like I said, to find food. However, we're feeding them to keep them out of private property. They will ravage an orchard in no time, as well as other ag areas. So we feed them, and we also put up 120 miles of elk fence to keep the elk off of private property, out of orchards and whatnot. But if we're going to do that, then we need to help supplement essentially the food that they're going to eat each winter. So the Rocky Mountain elk can starve during very harsh winters. So that's what we're doing. It's just a carefully managed supplemental feeding program. So the Roosevelt elk on the other side of the mountains, they don't need it because they don't have the harsh conditions that we have out here seasonally. They have all the food that they need, so they don't migrate. These guys migrate 50 miles between their winter grounds and their summer grounds. They typically stay down here for about 3.5 months each year. So they're here right now, but they're probably only going to be here for another 2 or 3 weeks. At which point we won't need to feed them anymore. Obviously things are warming up, snow's melting. They're going to head up to higher elevations. Like I said, these are all Rocky Mountain elk. So the males are called bulls, and the females are an extension of their skull out of two things called pedicles, different than a horn. So these guys will grow these antlers. Each year it takes about 5 months to grow a set of antlers. They'll typically start shedding those antlers right about now. We have, like these guys just saw, a bull shed its antlers. It typically starts late February for the big bulls that are a little bit older, and then it'll move through March, sometimes even to early April for the younger ones. So out here we have about 4 or 5 bulls that have already shed their antlers. So as soon as they shed those antlers, it gives it about a day or two, and then they're going to start regrowing those antlers immediately. So things that determine the size of the antler, there's a few different things. Number one is just basic genes. So both mom and dad give them the antler gene. Number two is nutrition, if they're getting an adequate amount of food, and the quantity of food, the quantity and the quality of food needs to be really good. If that happens, then those antlers are going to grow faster and larger each year for the most part. The third thing is something called photoperiodism. And what photoperiodism is,
ese es el carro que se encarga de darles el alimento a los venados. Vean cómo los venados ya saben que ese carro significa comida porque lo ven y de inmediato se acercan a él. Saben que es su alimento. Es algo muy grandioso por parte del gobierno de alimentar a estos animales en esta época del año. También nos están comentando que se pueden hacer donativos. Eso es algo muy importante, ayudar. Y pues bueno, si podemos poner nuestro granito de arena, vamos a hacerlo. Dicen que hay granjas que donan pastura, hay personas que donan dinero. Entonces nosotros no nos vamos a quedar atrás, vamos a donar también, vamos a poner nuestro granito de arena como volvemos a repetir, ya que ayudar es algo muy importante y más por una noble causa. Así es que vamos a darles más comida a estos animales, son una belleza. Vean nada más estos, cómo vienen bajando los venados. Ver a estos animales en su estado natural es una bendición. Y claro que vamos a aportar nuestro granito de arena. Se ven grandes.
won't let her.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe I can swing it right up here.
Oh, now he's being nice. Once they drop their antlers, they obviously don't know, and they still act like they have them, so they'll try to knock it the other ones with their antlers and not the antlers. All right, thanks everybody. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Come back anytime.
Wait.
Tell your friends and family we do these tours every day.
And donations are.
Yeah, these orange boxes right here.
Okay.
Donations are a huge help. Helps feed these guys. All right, we'll let you off in just a sec. As soon as our driver comes around. Yeah.
Llegamos a la parte final de este video, espero les haya gustado y nos vemos hasta la próxima. No olviden suscribirse al canal de Hombre en Llama 5. Que tengan bonito día.
Sorry, Paul, what
Adiós.
was your question about the bull?
Yeah, all the bulls are how far?
Oh, yeah. They'll be getting closer though. Hang out for a few minutes.
Go ahead. Josiah, you stop and wait for me right there.
Sure. Go for it.
All right. Yeah.
Good. We can sit.